Hey, what's up YouTube? Tom here, Birds Blades. So today we're taking a look at a Microtech, where is it? LUDT, that stands for Large Underwater Demolition Team. This is the Generation 3, so the Gen 3 with the natural clear finish on the handle scales and then the apocalyptic finish on the blade. How these things are packed is just kind of like every other Microtech that I've ever gotten. You have your little pamphlet here with your sticker and all sorts of whatever you want in there, and then the little bag that you have the inspected by signature sticker on it, which honestly I'm actually really into that, because what that shows is that a actual person is looking over this knife before they send it out. They are looking over each and every knife to make sure that it passes their quality control or what have you, I guess. So you're not going to get a knife that slips through the cracks, that has horrible blade centering or a loose pocket clip or missing screws or whatever. You're going to get the best knife that they can make, and I really like that. This is an automatic knife, as you can see there. I did have this one out of the packet, and I did bring it camping, did some food prep with it, so this is not a factory edge anymore. However, I did not abuse it, so it is still factory sharp-ish, I would say, anyway. This auto is actually really snappy, as you can see. Like, you kind of hit that button and the thing almost just wants to jump out of your hand. It gives you a little, I think you can see my hand shaking there, and I don't know, I think that's actually really nice, because it's not an underpowered auto where it's gonna kind of bounce back. Like, I do have a Benchmade striker that when you open it, it will go and then kind of just flop down. Unless you're holding it upside down, then it will stay open. So this being a overpowered auto, I actually really like, and it is very smooth actually. Like, you can't hear it on camera, but it's so buttery smooth, which is cool. You can see it does have a drop point M390 MK blade on here with a whole lot of billboarding, which honestly, hey, I guess not against it. I've kind of come to expect it from Microtech at this point, where they have their logo right there, front center, USA under it, the date of birth on the knife, and then whatever knife I guess you got, which you can see here, it is the Large Underwater Demolition Team, and then the serial number of the knife there. So, I mean, at least it's like actual stuff that it's saying, and not just like some random something that you see on Chinese knives. You can see it does say Microtech there on their nice pocket clip, which this pocket clip is actually fantastic. It is not a deep carry pocket clip, but it does carry deep on your pocket, if you know what I'm saying. Like, you have a whole lot of clip there, whereas if you're crawling around under a truck working on something, this knife will not just work its way out and pop out on you. This does have a, I believe it's a titanium backspacer, but you can see right in the middle there how it is kind of sectioned out, where you can, or milled out. And I actually like that a whole lot, because the problem with backspacers that I have is I get pocket lint, dirt, whatever, kind of crammed down in there, and it never comes out, and then eventually it builds up to the point where my knife blade, if there's tight tolerances, will hit the stuff and sometimes maybe not close. It'll kind of be open like that if there's like a large stick or something down in there or whatever, which I guess is, this will not prevent large sticks from getting stuck, but it will for like pocket lint and whatnot. So honestly, I kind of like it. The finish on this thing overall is actually really cool. You can see the milling lines on the handle. It does not appear like the camera wants to show you. Yeah, you can't really see them on the camera, but in person you can see the milling lines on this thing going that way, and it looks really cool. Complemented with this inlay of some sort of rubberized grip tape, which is actually very grippy, and it's also rubberized, so it's not going to tear up your pocket as you're pulling this thing in and out of your pocket a whole bunch with that pocket clip, because it is rubber and not like an actual sandpaper like you would expect for grip tape. This does not have a safety, so if you hit the button it will deploy, which honestly I'm cool with it. I carried this for quite a while and did not have any accidental deployments of it. Ergonomics on this knife are they're pretty good. I would like to see the handle be maybe a slight bit longer, or maybe start this little like hook thing like a 1/4 inch further back, just because my hand does kind of like want to bunch up on here, and I do not have large hands, so it could be like I don't know, it's a touch bit too small, but that's kind of nitpicking. This thing is really cool. You do have a lanyard hole back there, nice jimping up here. You have jimping going down the back spacer, jimping back here where your pinky is supposed to go, and the ergonomics are good, just a little bit small. The blade actually looks really cool on this thing. I at first wasn't really into how tall it was and how high up from the handle that it was, but after kind of carrying it and using it in practice, I started to actually like it, because it is very linear with where your hand is, if that makes sense. So like if your hand is going to make contact with it, your blade will at the same time. It might be something kind of confusing, but yeah, I do actually like it now. And I suppose to kick it off with some specs, these things were, I guess, kind of sort of recently released. This is the Microtech LUDT, coming in at $262. The overall length from tip to butt on here is 8 inches. Blade length is 3.5 inches. Blade thickness is 0.13 inches. Closed length or handle length on this thing is coming in at 4.5 inches. And then the handle thickness is coming in at 0.53 inches. Also, the weight of the knife is 3.6 ounces. This thing is 100% made in America with M390 MK blade steel and that apocalyptic finish on the blade, which looks absolutely fantastic. I was debating on either the drop point version, which is the one that I have here, and the Tonto version. I ended up going with the drop point version just because it's I guess slightly more universal design, and I don't know, I kind of regret it a little bit, because the Tonto version, in my opinion, does actually look a lot better, but this thing's got kind of that pointy little stabby tip there. You do have that nice big belly for doing food prep and whatnot. And honestly, I actually do like the blade shape. I just like the look of the Tonto better. Other than that, this knife is, oh, it's so nice. Aluminum handle scales, titanium backspacer, steel pocket clip, M390 MK steel blade with an apocalyptic finish. And then you have this big, rugged, overbuilt hardware all over the knife with that really nice button, which I believe is a titanium button. And yeah, I don't know, this thing is just so cool. I would have liked to see it come a little bit sharper than it did. It came, honestly, sort of dull. I hate to say it, but I brought it camping and it was kind of having a heck of a time cutting through onions and whatnot, whereas some of my other knives would just be blazing right on through them, which for such a thin blade stock and a full flat grind, you would expect this thing to just be an absolute slicer. Honestly, I might have just got a kind of a fluke one out of the sharpening booth or something, not 100% sure, but I will put my own edge on this thing, and then this knife will be fantastic. I guess this is kind of just a short video of the LUDT. I will do a video later on of me cutting a hemp rope with it, just to see how good this M390 MK does with like a cut test sort of situation. And yeah, I guess that's it for the video. So if you like the video, be sure to leave a like, comment down below what you'd like to see me do next, and until next time, thanks for watching, have a good one.